Welcome back to Why We Buy It. My name's Kobe.
I'm Amy.
And this is our top 5 fears while traveling video and some of the things we do to actually negate those fears.
And I'm going to start with number one. Number one, we learned recently, short layovers. Now, on our last trip, we had a 2-hour layover. Unfortunately, on the first leg of our flight, we had over an hour stop on the tarmac, which really only left us with a half an hour left by the time we got to the second flight, and that was including us having to go check our pick up our luggage and then recheck it to get onto the next half of the flight.
Yeah, that flight actually involved us collecting our luggage, going through customs, and then checking back in. And we had to do that in 30 minutes. And the only reason we achieved it is because we were with my mom, and she has the mobility impaired assistance, and the guy literally ran us through the airport, and we just caught our flight.
Yeah.
So now, when we are looking at booking flights, if it's going to involve the connecting flight, we don't choose anything that doesn't give us at least 3 hours of a layover, stopover time because of things like this.
That's right.
Right? Now, the second one on our list involves sketchy destinations. Okay? Going places where you know you got to be a little bit careful.
Yeah.
And the way we kind of negate any sort of serious issue here is, one, we make a point of not wearing too much jewelry when we go to these places. 2, if you follow the channel, you know I'm a big watch guy. I bring along my Casio Duro, right? This is like a $50, like $50 US watch. This will be the watch I wear, and it works for any situation. So if someone wants to steal that, whip-de-doo. And we're careful about carrying anything like our passports or credit cards or the like at places like that. We'll just bring enough of either the local currency or maybe some American dollars to buy what we need to buy, and that's about it.
Yeah, the only other thing that I do is I bring probably like one of my smaller purses with me as well, and it's always like a cross bag, so I can have it kind of sitting in front of me instead of beside me or behind me.
Yeah, and if we plan on taking some pictures, like it could be a picture of a spot we're going, I don't have the camera hanging out around my neck. We have it in Amy's purse until we absolutely need it. The last thing you want to be is a target for somebody. So we just make ourselves as inconspicuous as possible. I know it's difficult. We're good-looking people, so people don't look our way. But for the most part, we don't make ourselves a target, and that's how we get around it.
Yeah. The third one is probably a lot of people's fear, and that's getting sick. Nobody wants to get sick. The one thing Cove and I do, and it might sound weird, but we isolate ourselves before we go on our trip. Like,
100%.
We don't go to restaurants, we don't see friends, we don't, we avoid the public because we're like, we're not leaving home and getting sick. And then also when we're on the flights, we do bring masks with us. We only really wear them if someone behind us is like coughing, sneezing. For the most part, I don't usually enjoy like wearing a mask on the flight, but I will bring it to protect ourselves. And then if we're going to a destination that might have something that we have to be careful about, then we always we'll go to the doctor and like get a booster shot of something.
Yeah, we just ask, right? Are there any shots we require? We might as well get them. And like, no joke, COVID was not a picnic for anyone, but it did teach us how to isolate and operate without seeing too many people. Like, Amazon is your friend.
Yes.
Okay, so and for like literally a week, we don't see anybody.
Yeah.
Right? So that's one of the things.
It's not that we don't love you guys, it's just we don't want to get sick before we go.
The next thing we kind of prepare for, and it's a big fear, really big fear of ours, is lost luggage.
Big fear of Cobes. Yeah.
Because we've had lost luggage. We've had airlines lose our luggage, but this is more about going on the trip as opposed to returning, right? We do not want to show up at our destination. Quite often we go on cruises, right? So if your luggage gets lost on the way to a cruise, you're really screwed, right?
Well, I wouldn't say you're screwed, but you're moving destinations every day.
Yeah.
So
it's hard to get your luggage.
For them to find you where you're at the time and bring it to you, it's a challenge.
It's a pain. So what we do is, our carry-ons are, generally speaking, for our valuables, right? We'll have our camera equipment in there, recording equipment in there, jewelry, my watches, what have you, right? All of our information is in our carry-on. But we also make sure to pack at least extra underwear, socks,
One extra shirt or...
one extra pants or shorts, depending where we're going. Just one extra outfit. So that if something does happen and our luggage doesn't get to us right away, at least you've got one change of clothes before you have to really figure things out. And like on a cruise, that can be enough time because the cruise realizes, okay, sorry, your luggage is going to make it. We're going to basically give you X amount of dollars to shop on board just to get a few simple items so you can actually have a few more changes of clothes before we actually get to your luggage. So that's one of our big fears. But we do everything we can to negate it.
Yeah. And we, you got to be careful now with the carry-ons on how much you pack in there. So it's like we do as light as clothing as possible, or wear a little extra if we have to. The next one, you can't control it, but you can prepare for it, and that's bad weather.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to go to a destination and have terrible weather.
Especially when you're Canadian.
Yeah.
A lot of people travel in the winter.
We leave in bad weather. We're hoping that we won't get stuck in bad weather when we go somewhere. If we went to Singapore and they're like
it rains every day.
There's random rainstorms that happen, right? So we're like, okay, I guess you bring a compactable umbrella. We bring hats. When we went to the Caribbean, I didn't do it the first time because I don't burn in Canada because our sun's not as strong. Didn't factor that in. Didn't bring sunscreen. So now sunscreen's a definite must.
Yeah.
Aloe vera because you burn.
And we always make 2 plans for everywhere we go.
Yes.
We have our outdoor plan and an indoor plan, right? That's something we always account for in case it does happen to be a torrential downpour the day we're, somewhere we plan to go to the beach.
Yeah.
Instead, we find something that's in the similar vicinity that we can do indoors.
Yeah.
So we do as best we can to make sure that every day on vacation is a day worth spending.
That's right.
Right? So that's part of the planning. And those are the 5 things that we worry about the most when we go traveling. But Hakan's going to share the top 5 fears most people have while traveling.
Well, you've heard what Cobb and Amy think. Now let's get serious about what the real top 5 traveling fears are. 1. The fear of getting lost, especially if you travel alone. 2. The fear of getting sick. So Amy got that right. 3. The fear of being away from your loved ones. 4. The fear of meeting new people. And 5. The fear of theft. So Cobb, you got one right.
So let me begin with this whole fear of getting lost crap. First of all, I generally don't get lost. I got pretty good sense of direction.
Best sense of direction.
Right? Even when we've been lost, we weren't worried about being lost because we knew eventually we'd make our way back to where we were headed. That happened in Venice.
Yeah.
It happened in Gothenburg the one time. Generally, as long as you know which way's north, eventually you can figure things out.
Or just have a partner that knows directions.
Right? So that's not really a factor for us.
No, and then it's fear of being away from loved ones. Now, we're in Canada, so our distance between family members is quite far. So we really don't see family as that often.
Not that often at all.
So us being away for an extended period of time.
3 weeks?
Yeah, it doesn't really faze us.
Yeah, it's not unnormal.
Yeah.
It's regular for Canadians.
Yeah.
Now, that isn't for everyone.
No.
But for us, being away on vacation is like being at home.
Yeah.
You're just further away.
Yeah.
But you're still in contact via phone. We have WhatsApp, right? So that isn't a factor either.
Not at all.
And then the last one that he mentioned, and again, this doesn't really apply to us, is this meeting new people. We love meeting new people.
It's one of my favorite things to do, and especially a few videos we've mentioned it now, where book your first shore excursion with the cruise so you can meet the new people.
You can meet new people, you can make new friends. That's actually something we enjoy doing when we're on vacation, right? We like to learn about other people, other cultures, other places.
Yeah.
So that's not a factor either. Granted, not everybody is comfortable talking to strangers, but for us, it's a big part of it. It's one of the reasons why we actually go on vacation.
Well, my top 5 traveling fears is for everybody, not just you two. Not everyone is a walking compass or eager to chat with total strangers.
Call it whatever you like. I am a compass. I just don't get lost.
If you enjoyed our video on our top 5 fears while traveling, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell.
It's absolutely free.
Yeah.
Right? It's free. But before we let you go, Hakan's got one more thing he'd like to tell you.
Hey, in case you didn't know, Why We Buy It has a YouTube membership page now. There's a link in the description if you'd like to find out more. Members get access to early video releases, exclusive videos, members-only shorts and pictures, as well as entry into the Why We Buy It giveaways. In fact, they are giving away a watch in April. So take a look, and if you are interested in helping support the channel, please become a member.